The Community Television Consortium of Stark County presents this week's edition of What's Happening, the show about you, the people of Stark County. And now your host for tonight's program, Susie Vitale.
Good evening and welcome to another edition of What's Happening in Stark County. I'm Susie Vitale. Our first guest this evening is Sue Pierce, who's the Director of Disaster Services from the Canton chapter of the American Red Cross. You've got a couple different titles. You're from Emergency Services, so what is your other title?
My other title is Director of Armed Forces Emergency Services. In that area, I assist families in trying to communicate emergency messages to family members who are in the military.
Okay, now with all the hurricanes that keep churning across the Caribbean, do you want to talk about Luis, which is currently approaching the United States?
Yes, we know that Hurricane Luis hit the Caribbean area pretty hard yesterday. And I did pick up some information before I left the office and have my little cheat sheet of notes here in front of me of some of the damage that was done in that area. Some of the islands that were hardest hit were independently governed islands, and they were Antigua, Dominica, and St. Kitts. Antigua had 80% of the homes on Antigua were damaged, and they don't have any electricity, water, or telephones there right now. Dominica also sustained extensive damage, and they also have mudslides as a result of all the heavy rains and the wind. And St. Kitts has widespread damage, including hospitals. They had the roofs taken off of some of the hospitals there, and some damage was done. So they're going to be putting plastic sheeting over the hospitals so that they can protect the patients and try to maintain business. One of the other islands is British governed, and that's Montserrat. And they also sustained widespread damage, and they have another situation they're dealing with there too. There's an active volcano on Montserrat which had previously caused them to evacuate several thousand people. Those people were evacuated to Antigua, which, as I just said, was very hard hit by the hurricane. So they were kind of in a catch-22 situation there, I think. So they're not going to be able to return from Antigua probably to Montserrat for a while. Okay,
now this affects the American Red Cross and you because you send volunteers from this area, is that correct?
Yes, we do. Now the islands that I just spoke about, the three who are independently governed, and Montserrat, which is British governed, they have, they come under the International Red Cross Services. And so we're involved with them as far as providing international disaster assistance, and we'll be assisting them with their telecommunication satellite systems, tents, plastic sheeting, blankets, cots, relief kits, and other items. But we won't have volunteers, American volunteers in those areas. Also in the Caribbean, we also have the U.S. Virgin Islands, which are St. Thomas, St. Croix, and St. John's, and Puerto Rico. And fortunately, the center of the storm missed Puerto Rico, so it got sideswiped. We don't have an accurate damage assessment for Puerto Rico yet. We had an advance team that was there prior to the hurricane, and they have been able to do a little bit of damage assessment, but we won't know for sure until the airport's open and we can get more people in there to assess the damage.
Okay, so this is a frequent thing that happens, that you're sending out volunteers. What are some of the types of disasters that you send volunteers from our Canton Red Cross out?
Okay. Any kind of national disaster. We have sent, in the 11 months that I've been here, we've sent people on to earthquakes, flooding. Mostly flooding is what we've had mostly in the past year, and that's been all over the nation. They've been in Florida, Georgia, Alabama, California, Texas, Missouri. They've really been all over. That seems to have been the biggest problem we've had this past year, was flooding.
Okay, what kind of training do our volunteers get before they go?
Well, volunteers first become affiliated with the local Red Cross chapter, and they sign up with the disaster services in that chapter, and they receive an introduction to disaster services, their CPR and first aid, which is a requirement for anyone who's in disaster. And then they will take a course in a variety of different functions, and it depends upon what function they want to serve in. There are about 22 different areas that a person can serve in on a disaster assignment.
Okay, we've got just less than a minute left already. We have two different phone numbers. There's one phone number that's a Red Cross. If you're interested in becoming a volunteer, what's the Red Cross number that people would call?
Okay, in Canton, that number is 453 0146, or they can call their local chapter.
Okay, and then we have another number that very briefly is for people, families that need information about family members that are not in U.S. territories if they want to find out how they are. And what is that phone number?
Right, that's the number for American Citizen Service at the Department of State, and that's area code 202-647-5225.
Okay, thanks for coming this evening.
Thank you.
We've got more. Stay with us. Our next guest is our good friend David Culp, who's the Social Services Supervisor at Human Services. And you're here tonight to talk about how people in Stark County can help neglected and abused children. So besides foster care, what are some of the ways that people can help these children?
Sure. Well, another way, an important way that people in our community can help Stark County's abused and neglected children is through making financial contributions, if they wish, to our efforts to recruit more foster families, as well as to reward and retain our existing foster families. What we have in existence in our community is called the Foster Parent Fund, and it has been designated by the Internal Revenue Service as having 501c3 status, so it's therefore tax deductible and a charitable organization. And its intention is to take in funds for the purpose of recruiting and retaining Stark County Human Services foster parents.
Okay, so how is this related then with Human Services? Is this just a separate fund that is set up that you draw from?
It's not even a fund that's within the agency. It is an organization that's separate and autonomous from the agency. However, in its articles of organization, it is specifically for the purpose of recruiting and retaining agency, that is Stark County Human Services foster parents.
Okay, and what kind of efforts are people supporting when they contribute to this fund?
Okay, what we've found so far is many businesses and organizations and foundations have supported such things as our foster parent recognition banquet that's held every November. That's just one effort. Other efforts that directly help recruit more foster parents include agents or business sponsorship of television ads on TV networks, radio advertising, joining in with our agency to do those things, as well as other forms of recruitment such as billboards and newspaper advertising. Also, individual organizations or businesses can contribute to the fund in order to maybe reward a group of foster parents or foster parents in general, or even a specific foster family.
Okay, what are the benefits, besides the fact that they're doing something beneficial for our community, what are the benefits to the people that are contributing to this fund?
Well, when they contribute to the fund, obviously, they are benefiting the children of our community by contributing to its child protection agency. The other benefit is that if they have an organization or a business, they're linking that business or organization's name with a very prominent good cause in the community. And at the same time, the contribution itself is tax deductible, since they would be contributing to a charitable organization.
Okay, if somebody wants to contribute to the Foster Parent Fund, how do they go about doing this? Who do they call? And
they can call the very same number that we asked them to call to become a foster parent.
Okay.
That's 438-8789, and they can ask for me directly, David Culp. I will talk to them about where they might want the funds to go. Also talk to them about the fact that we take, or I should say the organization takes the contributions either directly or through bequests or memorials. And I would also give them more detailed information on the treasurer of that organization and who to send the contribution to.
Okay, well, let's talk about the beneficiaries of foster care for a little bit.
Sure.
Do you have children in need of foster care right now?
Yes, we continue to look for more homes that will take teenagers, sibling groups, and also more African American foster homes to take many of the black children that come into our care.
Okay, and do you want to explain what kind of training that you give these people?
Sure.
Because you don't just send the kids over.
That's true. In fact, we're starting our fifth series of training this Saturday, and that is a orientation, pre-service training, if you will, and that prepares people who are just becoming or learning about fostering, how to foster, and it gets them ready and prepared for the fostering experience, and that's over a 4-week period, and it encompasses 15.5 hours of preparatory training.
Okay, we've only got about a minute left, but what kind of people are you looking for foster care parents?
Okay, basically we're looking for people who are everyday people who enjoy children, people who have children of their own, or people who don't have children of their own. They can be single and they can be married. They can be grandparents. They can own or they can rent their home. They certainly don't have to be wealthy by any definition of the term. Just enjoy children and be committed to protecting them.
Okay, and what's that number one last time?
That number is 438-8789.
Okay, and that's for the foster care, and that also is for the foster care?
It's for foster parenting, if you want to learn about foster parenting, or if you want to learn about contributing to the Foster Parent Fund. It's the same number.
Okay, thanks for coming this evening.
Sure, thank you.
Next up is Larry Burgett. Stay with us. Our next guest is another good friend, Larry Burgett, who's the Director of Development at the Canton Christian Home. And Larry, you've got a seminar coming up that I think everybody should come to. What is it? What are some of the topics that are going to be covered?
One of the things that's really prevalent today is the telephone calls that individuals get. And really many of those phone calls are scams, they're contests, they're deceptive practices, there's home repair fraud. And some of our people are getting called at the Canton Christian Home, and I know that church people get called. And,
sure.
And we just feel that it's time to have someone come and speak on this particular topic. And so on the 19th of September, which is a Tuesday, at the Canton Christian Home, we're going to have Gloria Cockrell from the Better Business Bureau speak on this particular subject. And then following her, an attorney, Carol Conrad Ryder, will be speaking on guardianship, conservatorship, trusteeship, and other options that are available to older adults to help them handle their affairs, because there are people just preying on the elderly, as not just on the elderly, on individuals like you and I.
Boy, there sure are.
And the real problem is when people get taken like they do, they're afraid to admit it and just kind of quietly, you know, burn inside, not knowing what to do. So we just feel it's time to do something and let people be aware and invite people to our seminar to learn more about this.
Well, that's really great. Is there a charge to come to the seminar?
It's free, no cost. We would like to have an idea if they would just call in to the Canton Christian Home. The telephone number is 456-0004. And I'll repeat it again. 456-0004, and just to let us know that they're intending to come. That means, because we don't know how many to expect, and if there's quite a few that are going to come, well, we may need to move to another room, that type of thing, but it's free, and we want people to come to learn all about what's happening out there. Okay, and give people the address of where the Canton Christian Home is for people that aren't maybe really sure. Okay, the address is on Cleveland Avenue. It's 2550. 2550 Cleveland Avenue Northwest. 2550 Cleveland Avenue. It's near the post office and it's near First Christian Church. Okay, this is going to be a really good seminar for people to come to and to bring friends. I mean, everybody knows somebody that's been taken by one of these scams, and I don't think a week goes by that you don't see something on the news that there's a new one. There's a new one. Yeah. Presently, Gloria Cockrell told me that in Stark County alone, the average cost of home repair fraud is $4,500 to individuals. Wow. Well, how long do you think this will take? How long length of time are you allowing for this seminar? We're going from approximately 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock with Gloria Cockrell on the scams and home repair fraud and devices. And then from approximately 8 to 9, and it'll be over by 9, with the attorney talking about conservatorship, trusteeship, and power of attorney and that type of thing, other things that are available to adults for helping handle their affairs. Okay, now for somebody who might be interested in your facility, do you want to talk a little bit about what's available at the Canton Christian Home, because it's so nice over there and you have so many different kinds of living? I'd love to. That's my work. I enjoy that. Right. Canton Christian Home is sponsored by Christian churches and Church of Christ. About half of the residents there are from the Christian Church, Church of Christ. Others are from other churches. And we have 4 levels of living there. We have independent apartments, where people are on their own, cook their own meals and that type of thing. And if they want to eat in our dining room, they can contract that out, or have housekeeping services done. That can be contracted out. We have residential with services where they don't have any kitchens, but everyone who's in residential with services would go down to our dining room, have their meals there, and have home housekeeping and things done. Then we have assisted living, which is a rest home for those who need some assistance in the activities of daily living. And then we have the nursing care for those who really need more supervision and care in their later years as health dictates.
Okay, and you do give tours if people want to call up and schedule a tour, and it's such a pleasant place. Everybody just walks around with smiles on their faces. It really is nice.
Well, thank you.
What's the phone number people call if they want either the seminar information or if they'd like to schedule a tour or find out more information?
Okay, the telephone number is area code 216-456-0004.
Okay, and you're Larry Burgett, but there's lots of people that answer the phone that could also help as well.
That's right.
Okay, thanks for coming this evening, Larry.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Next up, we have Rose Anderson. Stay with us. Our next guest is yet another good friend, Rose Anderson, who's the Director of Education and Marketing at the McKinley Museum. And Rose is here to talk about some of the wonderful fall programs that are going on. So do you want to get started?
We've got so many things coming up, Susie. I don't know where to start. Let me start with the witch. She's sitting on the table.
It's great.
She's one of our classes. This class will be held on Saturday. It's for adults or for people at least 14, 15 years old and up. It's October the 7th. The class will start at 10 o'clock, and the price of the class is $28. We also have a class in basket making for adults. This is a double-handled basket that actually is trimmed with a little heart on the front. This class is on September the 23rd. The tuition is $33 on this one, and they guarantee that everybody will leave with a finished basket.
That's wonderful.
We start in the morning. You can bring a sack lunch. We usually have some coffee, and everybody finishes up around 1:30, 2 o'clock. And this is a neat basket. Comes with the nice little colors in it, too. We're doing a couple other things closer to Christmas. A cornucopia and a boxwood Christmas tree we'll also do for the adults. We also have some things for kids this year. We've got a wonderful lady whose name is Joni Powers. Joni bills herself as the Amazing Powers of Science. She is a local science teacher, and she will come in and do some fantastic demonstrations with different aspects of science. She's got a program on viscosity, she's got one on buoyancy, and she's got one on air pressure. And so those will be done October 14th, November 11th, and December 9th, the second Saturday of each month, beginning in October.
And do you register for those separately?
Actually, no. What we're doing is inviting the public in. It's free with museum admission. Members are free, of course.
Great.
And then they're going to have like a little creation station at the end where the youngsters can pay $1.50 and they can make something of the demonstration that they just saw to take home and amaze their friends.
What a good idea.
Should be a lot of fun. We're really looking forward to it.
Sort of like Mrs. Wizard.
Yes, you got it, exactly. We also have a wonderful football exhibit coming up. It opens on September the 17th. It runs through the week before Thanksgiving. In conjunction with that, we've got a couple of adult classes that are actually there for everybody. Everybody who doesn't understand football. People who don't know a wide receiver from a center. They don't understand the numbers. Hail Mary passes, split ends, those kinds of things. So we're going to talk a little bit about all the different kinds of positions, the different kinds of plays, the point.
What a good idea.
Well, I hope so. Ray Payne, a very dear friend of mine, I have to tell you, he was my teacher when I was in school. He still is teaching officiating. And he's a member of, let me get this straight, the Ohio High School Officials Hall of Fame.
Wow.
And so he has consented to come over and teach these classes for us. There's no charge. Just need to come in and enjoy two Sunday afternoons in a row, the 17th and 24th of September.
It's nice to learn those things. When I was a cheerleader, we learned that the team that stays in the huddle the longest has the ball because they have the most to talk about. And that's the only way we knew what cheer to do.
Good for you. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
We, along with our classes then, we are encouraging all the area high schools to bring us some football memorabilia of some sort. And we have probably more than 50% who have already contributed to this, and it isn't a total contribution. It's a kind of a temporary donation where we're going to give things back, but we want everybody in the community and in Stark County to come and see what, football had its roots right here in Stark County. We've involved the Hall of Fame. They've given us some things. We're giving passes out to everybody who comes to visit us. We'll get a 20% off ticket to go to the Hall of Fame and see their exhibits too. So,
and this includes what? This is football memorabilia.
It's
and what
all
else?
football. It's all football and football season. Majorettes, cheerleaders, football banquets, parades. We've got trophies. We've got an old beanie. This dates back to 1926. McKinley High School had a huge booster club of girls. There were something like 500 girls in this booster club, and there was no club for the boys. So they had their unofficial club, and this was their beanie that they wore. And there were I think about a dozen of these young men who wore these beanies to the games and supported their team. They reportedly never got their picture in the yearbook, but they were indeed McKinley boosters. And then as time goes on, we will have a whole week of McKinley boostering from the McKinley Museum.
Okay, we've only got about 30 seconds left. I just want to tell you, Bob Amon has a band thing. You might want to contribute.
Okay, so. Bob, you're on.
So, okay, if anybody wants any information, what's the number they call?
Call us at 455-7043.
Okay, thanks for coming this evening.
Thank you, Susie.
Next up, we have Natalie Gelfo with the calendar of events. Next up is Natalie Gelfo with the calendar of events. Natalie?
Thanks, Susie. The Quail Hollow State Park Camera Club meets the second and fourth Tuesday at 7 p.m. at the Mansion. Guests are welcome. Meetings feature programs of instruction and entertainment. For further information, call 877-6652 or 452-8085. Malone College is sponsoring the 1995-96 Cleveland Playhouse Tour. Plays run September through April, and transportation is included in the cost of $255 per person. For more information, contact Susie Thomas at Malone College at 471-8240. The Canton Symphony announces the 1995-96 concert series. Music director Gerhard Zimmerman conducts the concerts, which are performed at 7:30 p.m. on Sundays and 8 p.m. on Mondays at Umstead Performing Arts Hall. Season tickets can now be purchased for the 7-concert classic series by calling the Canton Symphony ticket office weekdays 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. at 452-2094. The Video Camera Club has its regular meetings the third Wednesday of each month, starting at 7 p.m. The meetings are held at the Market Heights Community Church, located at 3129 North Market Avenue in Canton. The club is open to anyone interested in audio or video. Dues are $8. Please plan to attend and bring a friend. For more information, please call 494-1266. Altman Hospital's Diabetes Care Center is planning a family weekend retreat September 22nd through the 24th for diabetics at Atwood Lake Lodge. The family can learn about monitoring blood sugars, meal planning, exercise, medications, and ways to prevent heart, kidney, and eye diseases. Registration fee is $100, which includes 2 nights lodging and hors d'oeuvre lunch reception, Friday evening, and meals Saturday and Sunday. To register, call 438-6252. The North Canton Playhouse is holding auditions for 3 plays: The Littlest Angel, Monday, September 25th, Heartbeats, September 18th and 19th, and The Best Christmas Pageant Ever, Sunday, September 17th and the 24th. The North Canton Playhouse kicks off its 20th season with the delightful family musical You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown, based on the Charles M. Schulz cartoon, September 15th through the 30th at 8 p.m. with a matinee performance 2:30 on October 1st. And then the North Canton Playhouse will present a delightful, fun-filled audience participation play, King Midas and the Golden Touch, October 13th at 7 p.m. and October 14th and 15th at 2 p.m. and 4 p.m. The subscription packages are being offered for the 1995-96 theater season by the North Canton Playhouse. The main stage pass will allow the theater goer to see 6 productions, 2 of which are area premieres. This package saves the theater goer $1.50 per show. The comedy package includes 4 productions, one of which is an area premiere, all for only $28, a savings of $1 per show. And the family package includes 5 delightful family shows, 2 of which are musicals, at a savings of $1 per show. For more information on show titles and prices, call the Playhouse office at 494-1613. The Perry Eye Clinic at 3545 Lincoln Way East will offer 2 free seminars. On September 18th from 5 to 6:30, Dr. Richard Fuller will discuss coping with vision loss, facts and fiction, hopes and fears. The seminar will deal with several types of vision loss. On September 25th at 5:30, Dr. Brian Wind will discuss surgical techniques to reduce or correct nearsightedness and astigmatism. Those interested should bring their glasses or contact lens prescriptions. For reservations, call 837-5191. The Arc of Stark County Incorporated has grown out of its current offices in Suite 10 of the United Way building. They will be moving into Suite 100 in September in the same building. The following items are urgently needed: filing cabinets, 2 long meeting tables, meeting chairs, 2 desks, 2 secretary chairs, bookshelves, and room dividers. If you have any of these supplies in storage and would like to donate to the Arc of Stark County Incorporated, please call 453-2727 and ask for Hilda. The Community Television Consortium of Stark County has volunteer opportunities for anyone interested in television production and broadcasting. Areas available for trainees include public relations, marketing, script writing, camera and technical work, timekeeping, and floor manager. All you need is a desire to learn while helping our Stark County nonprofit organization. For more information, please call our CTC number at 493-8925. If your nonprofit group or organization would like to appear on What's Happening, or you would like to have your announcement read on our calendar of events, please write us at P.O. Box 8335, Canton, Ohio 44711, or give us a call at 493-8925. What's Happening is broadcast on Warner Cable Channel 11 Tuesdays at 6 p.m. and Thursdays at 6:30 p.m. and on Masslink Cable Channel 50 Thursdays at 7:30 p.m. That wraps it up for this week in What's Happening in Stark County.
Thanks, Natalie. All of us here at the CTC would like to let our good friend Lloyd DeFrance know that our thoughts and prayers are with him. Lloyd will be getting triple bypass surgery September 21st. That wraps up another edition of What's Happening in Stark County. Thanks for joining us.
Okay.